Street for you. And by the way, a lot of these donations are online, some from overnight. And if you don't have time to do it today, just go to ccradio.help. ccradio.help. You can make your donation right on through the weekend. I want to say a big thank you to Mary, and Mary is from, Baton Rouge, yeah, and has donated $30 a month, so a new coffee club member. But I wanted to, Mary, put on, and this is the really cool thing about if you do it online, there's a place to leave a note for a dedication. But she says this donation is made in honor of Bruce Alexander. Bruce, our class so appreciates your participation and enthusiasm. This enrollment is in honor of you and Shelley. Love, Mary T. and the amazing St. Aloysius class of 68. Thank you, Mary. We really appreciate that donation. Wow. We had a donation called in to one of our friendly volunteer operators who are here to take your calls. And I want to say a big tip of the hat to Brian Harris Auto Group.
Yeah.
They called in a donation of $500. Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
Good guys over there.
That's good. And we like doing business with like-minded people, right? Because it's good that they support the faith. Kelly from Abita Springs, a $50 donation online. Henrietta is from... Well, I don't see the city, but Henrietta...
She's from the North Shore.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for telling me that, and I'm glad you know that. $50 donation. Thank you, Henrietta. Dean has gone online. He's from Madisonville, has a $250 donation. Thank you, Dean. And then, is that right? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Father. Shelley from New Roads. Oh, yes. We reach everywhere, don't we, Dave? A $50 donation. And I have still a stack in my hand we'll get to at the bottom of the hour, but thank you kindly for your donations. 855-341-5199 is the phone number. 855-341-5199 or at ccradio.help anytime, day or night. Now to the studio, we got Damian Collado, Lisa Flood, and you have a special guest.
Well, yes, we do. It's Father Jamin David, and we are so glad to have him in our studio because he is one of the busiest priests I know. Vicar General of the Diocese of Baton Rouge, moderator of the Curia, and judge, and whatever else.
All the other things. It's always good to be here with you all at Catholic Community Media, so thank you for the invitation.
Yes, well, you guys have spent all the priests in our diocese for the last 2 days have been together. A lot going on there. Share with us what took place at the, what do y'all call that? Not a convocation?
So this one was sort of our convocation, right? Okay. So we usually have these things that we call formation days.
Formation days.
And we did a little reorienting of our calendar so that we could free some of our priests in the early wintertime to go to the March for Life. We always had some conflicting days. Calendars for priests, always difficult, right? So we had a couple of vacant days in October. We decided, well, let's use them. Let's not lose them. Let's use this as an opportunity for fraternity because we really haven't had that opportunity all that much recently with COVID and all the other things going on. So Bishop Duca wanted to take the opportunity to sort of lay out a game plan. And I think this is where it coalesced with Catholic Community Media, right? His whole thing was to talk about evangelization and really to go back to the heart of what is our mission as a church. You know, sometimes I think we feel like we're functionaries. We go back to the busyness of everything that we have going on in life, and we need to remember what's our call? What are we invited and called to do? So during those days, we had Dr. Brian Pedraza from Fran U, who did a little address for us, and he really told us about the state of the vineyard today, stuff that we know about, right? About people not being as faithful as they used to, or us losing some of the younger generations. We went through some of the statistics, and we started to think about what are some creative things and ways that we can really bring re-evangelization and evangelization back to our communities. It's sort of being stuck in that old mindset that let's do these programs over and over again, and hopefully it's going to make a difference, when in fact what we need to do is go back to the heart, the mission of what we're called to do, and it's an evangelistic church, right? If you read all of those documents that Pope Francis has been coming up with recently, it's all about accompaniment. Meeting people where they are and bringing them to the fullness of the truth of what we believe as Catholics. So what the bishop wanted to do was shake his presbyterate up a little bit and tell us, okay, guys, look, I know we've got some difficulties, right? We've got declining numbers of priests, and we have some difficult times ahead of us. But one of the solutions is to really go back to the heart of what we're called to do, and that's evangelization. And if that's not the heart and center of our mission, well, then we might have even more trouble than we expect.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point. And I'm glad to hear that, because quite often people think that there's not going to be any change in the church. You know, it's very structured, and I love the fact that y'all are taking an open view of this. I know Pope Francis sometimes gets a bad rap because he seems to come across pretty liberal. But I think what he's trying to challenge us is to be more open and aware of what the needs are of those seeking Christ.
The field is ripe. And it's an opportunity for us to go out there and bring people to the fullness of truth. You know, in my pastoral ministry, I always meet people who are hungry. They want to know. They want to know the fullness of what it is we believe and why we believe it. And they don't want to compromise on it either. At the same time, we know that people have gone through a whole variety of situations in their life, and we have to meet them exactly where they are and bring them slowly to the fullness of what that means. So it's difficult, but it's actually very fulfilling and very fruitful. And I think if we do it together, if we engage in this evangelization, you're going to see the fruit of it. And you're going to see how our church is actually going to regenerate itself, reinvigorate itself by bringing these people to the gospel.
So how do we go back to the roots of evangelization?
Well, I think it's very simple. You go back to what Jesus says in the very heart of the Great Commission, right? A fundamental call, not just as priest clergy, but all of us as lay people. Go and proclaim the good news of the gospel. Teach, preach, and baptize. And that should really be the fundamental about what we do. You know, I always get the bad rap as a canon lawyer, right? All these rules, all these regulations, why do we have this? And I think the most beautiful, poetic way that it's sort of encapsulated in the Code of Canon Law is the very last canon in the Western Code. It says the supreme law of the church is the salvation of souls. And without that, none of the other stuff that comes before really makes a difference, right? So if we keep that at the heart of our mission, that we're really called to bring people to heaven, to have people have an experience of Christ, that's going to make all the difference in the church and in the world.
So how do we as Catholic Community Radio help you and help others?
Well, one of the things I think that's beautiful about your ministry is that you think outside of the box, right? The rebranding is not just radio, it's media. It's all
media,
the different ways
right,
that you can go out and reach and touch people. And I think one of the things that the church hasn't always done well is use what's out there in the secular realm, sometimes to rebaptize it, make it Catholic, and bring the good news of the gospel to others. Internet's not a bad thing. Television, radio's not a bad thing. We just have to use it for our good, the purposes of the gospel, to evangelize. So what you all do every single morning, simply having radio shows and bringing on good presenters and teaching and preaching the fullness of the faith, is how you partner with us to get that good news out so that we can walk together in this journey of accompaniment.
For me, I think one of the most important things Catholic Community Media does, it helps to strengthen the laity.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, Father, you need the laity to be on fire, don't you?
Well, and you know, the second part of our discussion that we had is, well, look around. There are fewer of us that are out there. We absolutely need the laity. We need to empower the laity to be able to do some of the work that we can't do anymore. And there's so many opportunities for formation and to bring people to fall in love with their faith once more. We just have to take advantage of those opportunities and allow ourselves to empower others to be able to do that good work.
What's a number to call if they want to donate and help evangelize?
Well, it's 855-341-5199, and I think that we should hear some phones going off right now to support this wonderful work, this wonderful ministry of evangelization.
You hear Father Jamin David, okay? 855-341-5199, ccradio.help, and that's what you can do to help us help you. And we are always tuning your heart to the truth. And boy, we need that more than ever, huh, Father?
Now more than ever. I think if you look at all of the things that exist in our world, right, from polarity to politics to simply a lack of faith, this is an opportunity where the field is ripe for us to go out and begin the harvest. We just have to do hard work with sometimes less laborers.
Yeah. Do you find that y'all may have to recruit other priests from elsewhere, you know, versus just seminary?
You know what's interesting, I think, in our local church is that often we don't have a shortage of priests, we have a shortage of pastors sometimes, that we all have gifts and talents. God's
Right.
calling us to use them in very different ways. Some people really like good classic parish ministry. Some people might not succeed as well at that. So I think it's reorienting, right? It's sort of thinking outside of the box and asking ourselves the question, what's the gift and talent and how do we use it? It also means that we have to look at classical structures and say, this worked for a long time, but maybe it doesn't anymore. Maybe we need to look at church in a different way. We mentioned the laity as one example. Well, sometimes priests don't like to do all the day-to-day administrative junk that's in the parish, right? Well, we don't necessarily have to do that if that's not our gift and talent. We should empower people who have the professional know-how, who have the ability to be able to go out and do it. So I think one of the things about addressing priest shortage isn't necessarily waiting for them to rain from the heavens or us going out to get more. It's actually to look at our current situation, do some reorientation, and begin the good work and hard work of promoting vocations, which is not very popular in our culture today.
Well, I love what you're saying. That's thinking outside of the box. And I think, again, this ministry, this apostolate, helps to strengthen families, which leads to the vocations.
The domestic church is the foundation, I believe, right? And again, one of our talks in these past 2 days from Dr. Pedraza is, Fran, you just got this wonderful, great grant that was to specifically do that, to go back to the regenesis of rebuilding the fundamental unity of the family, and by going about doing evangelization, not just for the little bitties, but for parents, adults, holistic catechesis. I think that's where evangelization is going to begin. And this media is very important in that because you touch so many people in so many different lives.
Yeah.
855-341-5199 is the number to call, or you can donate online at ccradio.help.
You sure can. We're speaking with Father Jamin David, Vicar General of the Diocese of Baton Rouge. And again, 855-341-5199. That's the number to call. So let those phones ring. Father Jamin says that's music to his ears.
It is.
ccradio.help as well. We'll be back with more right here on our Fall Pledge Drive.
St. Joseph Abbey Caskets and Cemetery, just north of Covington, are builders of handcrafted mahogany and cypress caskets and beautifully constructed cremation urns, which can be delivered to the funeral home of your choice. Situated on the peaceful and picturesque Abbey grounds, the Abbey Cemetery offers burial and pre-planning options for cemetery plots and columbariums. Visit stjosephabbey.com to make an appointment.
If you're looking for that special and unique gift, be it rosaries, statues, handcrafted art, or jewelry, stop by the Shepherd Staff Gift Shop at Sister Dulcie's Ministry, located on the grounds of Cypress Springs Mercedarian Prayer Center, 17560 George O'Neill Road. Remember, when you shop at the Shepherd Staff Gift Shop, you're shopping with a purpose. Shepherd Staff Gift Shop is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
This is Franciscan Father Greg Friedman for the Catholic Communication Campaign with a message about faithful citizenship. The act of voting is easy. Mark a ballot with a pen or tap an electronic screen. But how do you get to that point? For that, we go all the way back to Jesus. He brought us God's reign, the way of justice and love, revealed in the Scriptures and in the Church. The U.S. Bishop's document, Forming Consciences for Faithful Citizenship, gives us 4 steps to take it from there. After we hear Jesus' teaching, we receive it. A few of us carry around a Bible or the Catechism ready to take out before discussing politics. Rather, we make Christ's teachings a part of how we think. Only then can we take the next 2 steps to act on those teachings and use them to evaluate the positions of political parties and candidates. For more, go to faithfulcitizenship.org.
Make plans to attend this year's Pro Vita Youth March for Life benefit dinner, Thursday, October 19th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. at St. Michael High School in Baton Rouge. You'll enjoy dinner and a silent auction, with proceeds providing scholarships for seminarians, along with helping support religious and youth who will attend the annual March for Life pilgrimage. Tickets to the Pro Vita benefit dinner are $80 per person or $600 for a table of 8. For more info, go to youthmarchforlife.org.
For more than 150 years, St. Vincent de Paul has served the capital city, caring for the poor, feeding the hungry, and housing moms and children. St. Vincent de Paul accepts donations of cars, trucks, and SUVs, motorhomes and campers, even motorcycles and boats. Proceeds benefit the poor and homeless, served by the Bishop Ott Shelter, the St. Vincent de Paul Dining Room, Pharmacy, and Miriam's House. St. Vincent de Paul, 225-383-7837.
All right, we're back, and it is 18 after the hour. Damian Collado, along with Lisa Flood and Father Jamin David of the Diocese of Baton Rouge, and just chatting off mic about the Eucharistic revival that's taking place here in Baton Rouge and some of the things that are going on.
We have some great things happening, don't we? Father, tell us what's going on.
That's part of that regenesis of evangelization, right? Not just in our local church, but nationally throughout our entire country. So you probably have heard that there's sort of phases over 3 years of this Eucharistic revival. First, we started off more on a parochial level. We did here in our own local church have our little committee, our leaders of the Eucharistic renewal, if you will, who have gone in. We've done some retreats for our parish staffs, right? Because they're often in the foxhole. They're in the front line of dealing with our parishioners each and every day. So it's an opportunity for them to take a break from the commonplace everyday work and say, let's talk about the Eucharist. Why are we a church? And why is the Eucharist the source and summit of what we believe? To make sure that that's the heart, that's the center of everything that we do. We've got that Eucharistic thrust, right? So we've been doing lots of things in our local parishes, everything from Eucharistic processions, where it's very visible, sort of putting it out there front and center, not just for our own Catholic communities, but for communities at large. Now we're moving toward more of the diocesan phase of it, right? So that together as one local church, we can begin to look at ways that we can renew our local community in Baton Rouge and New Orleans and all of our other local dioceses. If you get a chance, go on our diocesan website, because there's some wonderful artwork that we're using sort of as the centerpiece from one of our local artists. And it's the whole scene from Emmaus where Jesus has the encounter with his disciples. And we're using that as a focal piece for us to be able to go back to the scripture and to go back to the heart of Christ calling us through Eucharistic theology to come back to him, to recenter ourselves in that mission, right? So there'll be lots of different things that you're going to hear popping up throughout our local church in the next year. And then finally, it's going to be sort of that national phase, that third year. And everyone's going to be invited to this wonderful Congress that's going to be held up in Indianapolis. So if you can get a ticket, they're hot commodities right now, apparently. Make sure you try to get one, and then you can participate in the whole Church of America and what this Eucharistic renewal is supposed to be.
Yeah. Father Joshua Johnson's actually
keynote speaker, you know?
And we were speaking with Dr. Deacon Larioni. He and Andy are going to be up there as well, talking about ministry.
I think Bishop Duke is actually going, which means the poor Vicar General's got to stay behind while he's
really?
there. So, you know.
Well, that was my I was going to ask if you had your ticket yet.
Well, church operations, you know, somebody's got to keep the ship afloat. So I'll sacrifice so that the bishop could make it.
There's probably going to be a lot of bishops there, huh?
I believe so. And this is an initiative that was started by our bishops in America, right? Seeing the need that there are a lot of people in our churches, people who say that they're Catholic, who don't necessarily believe that this is Christ truly substantially present.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Do you feel that it's actually that big of a number, 70% roughly, or in South Louisiana where Catholicism, you know, is pretty good shape?
I try to look at the glass as being half full rather than half empty, and it's my hope that it's not as bad as maybe some of these statistics. But you know, in the front line, when you're in parish ministry, then you start to see what people believe and why they believe it. And it really depends, I think, on demographics, and it depends on catechesis that has happened over the past 40, 50, 60 years. I think for so many people, it's difficult to see that simple things, bread and wine, through the words of a priest, can become something truly substantially different. It's a leap of faith for a lot of people. But, you know, when I talk about sacramental theology, I sort of challenge them in that. All of us, no matter what our faith, if we're Christian, we believe that baptism saves us from our sinfulness and makes us a new person. So you're telling me that simply pouring water and saying words is going to bring me into new life? Well, if you can believe that, well, why is it such a difficult jump to say simple things, bread and wine, really can become, through the priest's words, Christ's body truly, physically, substantially before us. It's the beauty of what we believe as Catholics as sacraments, but I think for our brothers and sisters who aren't in our communion, they can get there if the evangelization happens, right? If we can continue to bring them to the truth.
It's been fascinating to me through the years with, you said the word accompaniment, and that is a gift the Lord has given me to be able to accompany souls. There are a few people that I've walked with through the years who, when they were thinking about maybe becoming Catholic, just were really struggling with the Eucharist. And I would encourage them to go to the Adoration Chapel. And Father, that's where the Lord would move. They would leave saying, I don't know what just happened, but like something is stirring in my heart. So even if they're not ready, they weren't ready maybe theologically or in their brain to say, what am I going to do with this? When they went to the chapel to say, okay, Lord, I'm here. I don't really understand if this is really you. Show me. He did.
Isn't that what accompaniment is about, though, right? It's that one personal, unique encounter. I think sometimes we feel like we're sort of lost in the wave, the sea of all the different things that happen. And people in our life, I think they really hunger for that individual, unique connection. Mm-hmm. And that's specifically what happens, I think, with the Eucharist in adoration or people's experience at Mass. You get that one unique encounter with Christ that sort of hooks you. And then you're hungry, you want more and more. I think that's what accompaniment is to be able, with a very unique person in a very unique situation, to be able to bring them the truth of the gospel individually, so that they can have that experience and then hunger and strive to want to do more and be a Eucharistic people. And that's why Catholic media is important, right? Because as you're sitting in your car listening to the radio driving, sometimes it's one little saying or one little way that you've heard the gospel explained in a different way that really touches the heart, right? It's that accompaniment that happens virtually, that happens through the radio waves or television. And I think that's why we need to continue to invest in this ministry and make it such an important part of how we go about evangelizing.
Well, since you have such a great radio voice, why don't you give out that phone number and ways they can donate?
We're going to do it. So you could do it by phone, right? 855-341-5199. You can see I've done radio voiceovers, right?
Yeah.
Or you can go online, ccradio.help, and those are wonderful ways to continue to support this apostolate.
We talked about the laity and the importance of getting them involved with the church. I as part of the Eucharistic revival, I'm hearing that church parishes are reevaluating all the ministries that they have and maybe culling out and getting rid of some. On the other hand, adding some. What's happening there? What can you share with our listeners as to what's taking place with the church parishes, and so they can get involved?
Going back to our formation days, I think the big question is, does this really fulfill the mission? Or what we doing really going about making sure that we're making disciples of other people? Or are we just doing this ministry because, well, we've always done it, right?
Yeah.
It's fulfilling somebody's particular need, but it really has no connection to what the heart of the matter is. I think a lot of pastors are doing that in their particular places, their locations. They're going around in their ministries and saying, are we really doing what the gospel is commanding us to do? Are we going out evangelizing, inviting people, encouraging people? Is the Eucharist really the center of what we do? You know, one of the things I think that lay people can really help is sometimes push their pastors, who sometimes maybe get a little bit complacent.
No. I have a great pastor, but every now and then I'm pushy. Sorry.
You got to push a little bit, right?
Okay.
And to simply say, look, this is a need that we have, Father. Maybe if your parish doesn't have Eucharistic adoration, to provide opportunities for the faithful to have that. If there's not enough adult catechesis, think outside the box and find new ways to do it. I know when I was pastor at St. Margaret, we used to do this thing called theology in a bottle. If you give people a little something to drink while learning about theology, it makes a wonderful opportunity for a community to come together. We're South Louisiana. We love to come around a table and eat and drink. Well, add a little bit of theology to help build up that community more and to preach the truth of the gospel. And boy, you can see when you start planting those seeds, a lot of the difference can be made.
Okay, what I hear from you that I love is think outside of the box. Look at what's working, look at what's not. Be open to the Holy Spirit and then move.
That's right. Every single day. And, you know, when I pastored, one of the beauties was we got every single natural disaster you could possibly imagine on that side of the diocese. But it was to take what we had and use what we had to go out and meet the people. And when people in our community saw that, they said, wait a minute, this isn't just this little stagnant Catholic church. These are wonderful people who actually are on fire with the gospel, and we want to be part of that. And boy, then you got to see the community change over the years. And it was in those little bitty opportunities for mission and doing things a little bit differently. Interstate ministry during the 2016 flood. Whoever thought I was going to be ministering
crazy
to people inside of I-12, but it worked.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny how a disaster or a catastrophe of some sort, or
Brings
even a
us
big
together.
challenge, brings everybody together and opens new life, adds new life when it's all said and done.
Amen.
You have to have death to have growth.
That's
I
right.
guess.
You have to be able to see where God might be inviting us in the middle of the most difficult times. He says it over and over in the gospel. I'm there in the midst of it. Well, let's find out where God is and invite him so that we can do the good work that he calls us to do.
All right, in the final minute, give us a reason why they need to donate now, Father.
Oh, there's several reasons, but the primary one is that we need more opportunities and ways to evangelize. And this is one of those quivers, if you will, one of those arrows that is in the quiver that we can go about and help to bring the good news to everybody else. It's a wonderful apostolate, a wonderful ministry, so I think you should do it. You should call 855-341-5199 or visit online ccradio.help and be part of this wonderful mission of evangelization. Get back to the heart of why we are a Catholic community.
Father Jamin, before we let you go, would you please give us your priestly blessing?
Yes, indeed. And so we pray, good and gracious God, you call us together to be a people to go back to the heart of what our mission is. May we always keep the Eucharist as the source, the summit of our salvation, and go out and accompany others so that they might know the truth of what we believe and hunger always to receive it. Bless our listeners and bless all who contribute to this wonderful Catholic ministry. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father Jamin David.
Always a privilege. Thank you for the opportunity.
We're glad to help you in any way, and keep that in mind. Vicar General and moderator of the Curia here in the Diocese of Baton Rouge, but just all-around nice guy and a busy guy at that, but is always making time for Catholic Community Radio, and we hope you'll just take a few minutes out of your time to donate right now, 855-341-5199, ccradio.help. All righty. Well, when we come back, we're going to get to know Lisa Flood a little bit more, and she and I will do a little chatting to kind of wrap up this 3-day event of a Fall Pledge Drive here on Catholic Community Media.
Hi, I'm Shelley with Women's New Life Clinic. Women in unplanned pregnancies need your support. Please join us at Born to Run 5K and Half Mile Fun Run presented by the Parable Foundation, Saturday, November 4th at North Boulevard Town Square in downtown Baton Rouge. Born to Run is a fun family event with free food and music. Go to womensnewlife.com/born to run to register yourself and your team.
Here's a CC Media Did You Know?
Want to follow us on Facebook? You can watch live video and get push notifications by liking us on Facebook. Search for Catholic Community Media and visit us online at ccmedia.live.
Every city has a great donut shop, and The Heavenly Donut is a Baton Rouge favorite. Early every morning, Shane and Kara Castile begin making fresh homemade donuts, kolaches, and dozens of other tasty delights that will surely put a smile on your face. If you're in the mood for a king cake, The Heavenly Donut can customize one for you year-round. So don't worry, The Heavenly Donut has you covered. The Heavenly Donut, I-10 at Highland Road in Baton Rouge.
Hi, y'all. I'm Chef John False, a longtime supporter of Catholic Community Media. We're inviting the guys to Catholic Man Night Wednesday, November the 8th. Join the Fraternity of the Leaf, underwritten by the Olivier Group, for just $250. The fraternity will meet at 5 p.m. and entitles you to cigars, pre-dinner libations, a private tour of White Oak Estate and Gardens, plus a sampling of liquor from my own distillery. Or for $125, enjoy an open bar, a Regina cigar, and a strolling buffet with appetizers and entrees. Our guest speaker is Catholic convert and businessman Mike Fulmer of Berryland Campers in Ponchatoula. Reservations are going fast, y'all, so book yours now at ccmedia.live. Also, sponsor a priest or bring a friend. Just buy your reservations for Catholic Man Night, Wednesday, November the 8th at ccmedia.live. Underwritten by Olin Group, One Solution.
Have you ever wanted to read the Bible in a year? Hello, I'm Jeff Cavins, introducing the Bible in a Year podcast with Father Mike Schmitz and myself. It is available at ascensionpress.com or Apple. An amazing thing is happening right now around the country. People are reading through the Bible in chronological order, and we would love to have you join us. That's the Bible in a Year with Father Mike Schmitz and myself at ascensionpress.com.
Hey guys, I'm Matthew Leonard, author and founder of ScienceOfSainthood.com, and I'm coming on down to Baton Rouge this November to speak at a very special Fullness of Truth conference. Well, listen to who's coming with me. First, best-selling author and renowned scripture scholar extraordinaire, Dr. Brant Pitre. And second, Curtis Mitch, the guy who, among other things, is like a modern-day St. Jerome. It's going to be awesome. The conference is hosted by the great people at Fullness of Truth and will take place at the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Baton Rouge on November 4th and 5th. The conference title is The Eucharist and the Spiritual Life, Moving Through the Science of Sainthood. We'll celebrate Holy Mass both days with Father Miles Walsh and enjoy sacred music from the Vigil Project. This Fullness of Truth conference is only taking place November 4th and 5th at the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Baton Rouge. To get more information and register, simply go to fullnessoftruth.org.
True Blue Water is a proud supporter of Catholic Community Radio. True Blue Water serves East and West Baton Rouge, Livingston, Ascension, and Iberville parishes, delivering artesian, fluoride, and filtered water to your home or work. Remember the spelling of True Blue, T-R-U-B-L-U-E, True Blue Water. For information, visit True Blue Water online at trubluewater.com or 225-313-1299.
Here's a CC Media Did You Know?
Want to keep up with us on Instagram? Just follow Catholic Community Media on Instagram to receive immediate posts and pictures. And check out our website at ccmedia.live.
Right this minute, you're listening to Catholic Community Media. Have you told others about this station? Perhaps how listening has deepened your faith? Become a CC Media ambassador at ccmedia.live. We'll send you prayer cards and bumper stickers for yourself or even your church. They're free for the asking. Go to ccmedia.live and click on Become an Ambassador. This way, we evangelize together. Tune your heart to the truth. Catholic Community Media. It is our fall pledge drive here on Catholic Community Media. Good morning. I'm Jeff Blackwell. We'll get back to the studio in just a moment. I wanted to read some pledges that have been coming in. And thank you for responding to our call for your help. The number is 855-341-5199. 855-341-5199. 5199. We have volunteer operators here. We have a small staff, but we've got an absolute army of volunteers, and we're very grateful for every one of them. A big thank you to James, goes to Sacred Heart. Now, James is throwing down a challenge here, Damien. He says, I'm inviting all men of Manresa to make a pledge.
There you go.
That's a bunch.
Yes. Thousands.
And to back it up, he said, I'm going to start it off. Here's $200. Get it rolling.
All right, James.
Men of Manresa, time to respond. Hey, we have a new donor from Baton Rouge. Her name is Mary. We only use the first names here. But thank you, Mary, and welcome. And we appreciate your gift of $50. This is not online. This was called in from Pam. Goes to Most Holy Trinity in Covington, a $100 donation. And we'll have more because the stat continues to pile up as we try to meet that. It was a little less than $4,000 to make our goal, so we're on our way to $15,000.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, right. Jeff, thank you very much. We'll be back to hear some more donors in just a little bit. Right now, speaking with Lisa Flood, and she's our co-host, but I thought it would be good this final half hour to kind of get to know Lisa because she's involved in many ministries here in South Louisiana, and in particular one at Christ the King on LSU's campus, and share with us a little bit about the activities that are taking place there. And I love hearing about our young people being inspired and wanting to do more for Christ.
Damien, I think the word all morning we've heard is hope. And that is what we are proclaiming through Catholic Community Media. There is just a move of God happening. We don't need to talk about how dark the world is. We know there's a spiritual battle raging for souls. God is moving very powerfully at Christ the King at LSU. We have been blessed with Father Andrew Merrick was there, Father Josh was there, and now we have Father Matthew Dunn there, and they are doing, they've all done, and Father Matthew is doing amazing things to help the young adults encounter Christ.
What are some of the things that you guys are focusing on right now? Because I know at one point I was in the Sarah Club and we tried to get things going with the young people and get, really we were doing it in the form of vocations to see if there were some young men who possibly might want to entertain the seminary, i.e. eventually become a priest. But we never really could get the ball rolling. And I think we were maybe jumping the gun. In other words, didn't lay the foundation, just kind of going to the end. And that might have been where we made a mistake.
Well, I can tell you what I think they're doing really well and trying to do really well is help the young adults know they can be in the world but not of it. And that is my family battle cry. Be in the world but not of it. So they've got fraternity boys, sorority, fraternity men, sorority women who are, they're going to the parties, they're going out to the bars, but they're encouraged to, how can I live differently? How can I be set apart? There are incredible mission trips. There are pilgrimages. This past summer, my middle son and my youngest son, so one was graduating from LSU, one was entering LSU. They went on a pilgrimage to Italy with Chris Baker, who's from Baton Rouge, and some of the campus ministers from Christ the King. They biked, they kayaked, they hiked from one city to the next, and they had an amazing Austrian priest with them. So they had mass every day, they had prayer every day, but they had the most powerful encounters with the Lord. They took 27 young adults who could have been doing a lot of other things with their summer for, I think, a 12-day pilgrimage through Italy. I mean, so pilgrimages, mission trips, retreats. One of the beautiful things that they do, it's called Encounter Night. And my friend Kevin McCall, who's a missionary, he's been involved with Catholic Media before. He's been a guest on multiple shows. Kevin and I go to Encounter Nights along with other people, and we are prayer teams, praying with students. Damien, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you hundreds of LSU students, and sometimes students even come from other colleges to come to these nights of prayer. It's all revolved around the Eucharist.
Is it done in the church,
it's done in the church,
or a combination of?
No, it's done in the church and spills over into the activity center. They have, usually Vigil Project is involved with music. So we'll have praise and worship, adoration, a powerful, encouraging talk, and confession. The confession line, when I tell you, it snakes through, I don't want to use the word snake. It goes along the line. It meanders, better word, meanders through the church with, there might be 100 students in line for confession with multiple, they might have 8 priests who show up to hear confessions.
So how does an adult like yourself get involved? Do they need some assistance?
What they need is prayer. Prayer support. So I am very involved with ministry, with prayer ministry, as they invite me to come and be a part of praying in that way. You can go onto the website of Christ the King and find out there are ways for adults to get involved. There are times where they need individuals to come and be on the campus praying, maybe serve at events, serving food. If you go on the website, join Our Ladies Fighting Tigers, the intercessory prayer group. That's men and women. We have an event in the fall and in the spring.
What's the name of it again?
Our Ladies Fighting Tigers.
Really?
It began in
I've never heard of it.
Well, it began in 2017. We have an event in the fall and in the spring. This time I spoke at the most recent event. I think we had 50 people who showed up. This is the biggest event we've had. It's a morning of prayer where we are interceding and praying for Father, for the campus ministers, for the students, for all of LSU.
Wonderful. Well, How you're helping them there? Help us right now.
Okay.
How can that be done?
Let us hear those phones ringing, 855-341-5199, or donate at ccradio.help. And I also want to say Catholic Community Radio has been instrumental in helping another ministry. Well, it's not even a ministry. It's prayer. Lord, Teach Me to Pray. Jeff Blackwell has been an absolute saint in helping to spread the word of that Ignatian prayer series. I'd like to challenge the Lord Teach Me to Pray facilitators and prayer warriors. I think we have 11 groups on the North Shore alone. 11 groups of people praying the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola. And Carol Weiler would tell you throughout the country, Catholic radio, even beyond our archdiocese, is helping to spread this beautiful treasure of the church. So I want to encourage the Lord Teach Me to Pray prayer warriors to donate 855-341-5199 or donate at ccradio.help.
I do it in memory of Father Marty Gleason, too, who was a very vital part of that ministry.
Father Marty Gleason, God rest his soul. I'm certain, Jeff, that he is a prayer warrior for us.
Absolutely.
He was so grateful to you for all that you did.
Oh, he helped me through a tough time, too, when I was hospitalized for quite a while. But, yeah, what a wonderful man of God. Yes, he is interceding for us now.
Jeff, you got a few more donors before we take a break?
Yes. You were so good, Damien. Thank you, Stephanie. We appreciate you. Stephanie goes to St. Anne in Metairie, a gift of $360. Yes. God love you. Here's an anonymous donation. This person is from Baton Rouge, a $50 donation. That made online at ccradio.help. Linda, I think it's a sister-in-law of Dave here, but I don't know if you say her last name, but Linda has become a coffee club member. $30 a month. Thank you very much, Linda in Baton Rouge. Melinda is from Denham Springs, another coffee club member. $30 a month every month, and we'll get the coffee tumbler and coffee to you as well. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but be back with Lisa Flood and Damien Collado. It is an easy number to remember, right? You got that number?
855-341-5199 or donate online at ccradio.help.
855-341-5199. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Here's a CC Media Did You Know?
Do you have trouble tuning in our station at night or when you're away from town? Listen to us 24/7 on your smartphone or computer. Always clear, always on at ccmedia.live.
Hi, I'm Chad Olivier, Certified Financial Planner, CEO of Olivier Group. My wife Rose and I and our 4 sons are parishioners of St. George Catholic Church. Olivier Group was founded in 2002 with the goal of helping families with all aspects of financial planning to protect your family. We do this by using a team approach with a personal touch, always acting in the client's best interest. Life by design, not by default. Visit our website at oliviergroup.com.
Cetera Advisor Networks, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, CWM, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor.
What will make my annuals thrive this year? Hi, I'm Zorn with greenseasons.us, and here's a few things. Location is very important. Know how much sunlight your flower wants, and make sure that is how much sunlight it will get when you plant it. This will save you time and money. Soil preparation is also important. Annuals prefer well-drained soil. Work in peat moss and compost to increase the soil's organic matter. Don't overcrowd them. Flowers have to have the right spacing to grow. Flowers from the nursery can be compacted by the pot they were grown in. Gently loosen the root mass before planting. This will cause the roots to spread faster. Fertilize the plants when you are done planting with a slow-release fertilizer. Flowers will not need to be fertilized again during this season unless they are grown in containers. Add some mulch around the freshly planted flowers, making sure not to cover them up, and make sure to saturate the area on the first watering. I'm Zorn with greenseasons.us. If you have any questions, 888-353-1971.
Get better sleep with a new mattress from Baton Rouge Mattress Outlet, a proud supporter of Catholic Community Radio, providing a selection of brand name mattresses, adjustable bed frames, and Maloof pillows and sheets. Baton Rouge Mattress Outlet, 225-930-5779, 4065 Florida Boulevard, and Jefferson at Hushitu Road. Open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, noon to 4 on Sundays. See Mitch and the gang at Baton Rouge Mattress Outlet.
Here's a CC Media Did You Know?
Are you in need of prayer? Go to our website and click on the Resources tab, then click Ask for Prayer and fill in the form. We're here to pray with you and for you.
Go to ccmedia.live.
St. Mary's Books and Gifts, the little bookstore with a big heart and a thirsting desire to spread the good news. 225-272-4030. Laura Manderfield Krantz gives St. Mary's Books and Gifts is a longtime supporter of Catholic Community Radio. St. Mary's Books and Gifts, located on the corner of Florida and Sherwood Forest Boulevard, 225-272-4030. St. Mary's Books and Gifts.
12 minutes before the top of the hour, that's all we have left for you to help us out. And we are $2,600 away from our $15,000 goal. And we want to hear those phones ring. We want to see the internet light up. And we need your help. 855-341-5199, ccradio.help. That's another way you can donate. And boy, we would love to hit our goal before we wrap up. Also, we already have 11 new reoccurring donors, and we are shooting for 20, so that's 9 more. Whether you want to donate $5, $10 a month, or join the coffee club for $30 a month, which is $1 a day, you can do that, and you'll receive a Catholic Community Radio tumbler along with a bag of River Road coffee, not to mention Holy Moments book by Matthew Kelly. And Lisa, what got you involved with Catholic Community Radio? What's your story on that?
Well, my family left the church, like so many, because of the abuse scandals, and we were frustrated.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. That's why. Oh, this was over 18 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, we
but
left.
Still.
Came back for the Eucharist. And then, Damien, the whole time I was away from the church, I had no problem believing in the true presence of Jesus. I missed the Eucharist. I just didn't know what I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And I think this ministry, this apostolate, really helps to encourage the laity, to help us walk through tough things, to be on fire for the truth, the gift, and the weapons of our faith. So I really believe in Catholic radio. I remember one of my funniest moments was, I think, my dear friend Jason Angelette called me. This was before we had Catholic radio in New Orleans. Jason and I now co-host a TV show, Faith and Marriage Today. But Jason called me and he said, Lisa, if we don't get Catholic radio in New Orleans, he said, I don't know what I'm going to do. He said, I was listening to some garbage on the radio and my blood pressure is rising and I had no way to get the truth out. He said, we need to do something. So there have been so many people who really love and support this ministry, who prayed for it, who gave money to help it get started. Like, God has been moving. And I think, it is a very important gift in ministry to the Archdiocese of New Orleans and Baton Rouge and beyond. So I would like to encourage our listeners, our viewers, to call in now at 855-341-5199 or donate online at ccradio.help.
We have an ambassador program, and that's how I believe the lay people can get more involved at their church parish
Absolutely,
level.
Damien.
And if they want to be you want to be a part of this radio station, it's very easy. You can become an ambassador in a flick of a switch or a snap of a finger, and it's not that difficult. In fact, you could do 2 things at the same time. Listen, 855-341-5199. Call that number, make a donation, and then just say, hey, I'd love to be an ambassador for my church parish in our listening area. And that's all the way from home at Thibodaux all the way to Pensacola. And we need a lot of help, right,
By the way, if you didn't think Morganza had the internet, they do, because Homer is a first-time donor from Morganza. Thank you, Homer, for your gift of $50. And by the way, if you go to our website, ccradio.live, or ccmedia.live, there's a little button there, Become an Ambassador. You can click on that and just fill in a little form, and then Andy will get in touch with you and get you hooked up with bumper stickers and cards, prayer cards, to pass out at your church. By the way, we accept checks, too. We've had someone walk in and say, I'd like to make a donation.
Wow.
Leonard and Monica, they're from Zachary. Thank you for your gift to Catholic Community Media for $300. Thanks. Kurt is from Denham Springs, a $50 donation made in memory of Kern Ardwin. Thank you very much, Kurt. We appreciate that. And we got some more to read as well, Damien.
Okay. Yeah, we've got about 6 or 7 minutes left. And we're going to try to make the most of our time talking to Lisa Flood. And Lisa, what other ministries are you involved in besides the one at LSU?
Wow.
Because I know you're very active in the church.
Yes. Co-host Catholic TV program with Jason Angelette, Faith and Marriage Today. My most important thing that I do is not a ministry, it's prayer, which is with Lord Teach Me to Pray, the Ignatian Prayer Series. I also work with our confirmation program at my parish, Our Lady of the Lake. We have a beautiful confirmation program. And my friend Kevin McCall and our youth minister, Ali Barrios, they were in charge of the teens, getting them ready for confirmation. And I was blessed to walk with the parents. So every time the teens were in class, I hate to call it class, but at their get ready for confirmation meeting, I was walking with the parents, answering their questions, encouraging them, praying with them. Damien, I go where the Lord invites me to pray. That's what I do. If you ask me,
good.
Lisa, what do you do? I pray.
Your television program, what do y'all focus on? It says Faith and Marriage,
Yes.
but what's the message you try to touch on each week?
I would say all aspects of faith and marriage and hope, and empowering parents and individuals, whether they're married or not. I mean, it's topics that really appeal to everyone. Faith and Marriage Today, but it's all aspects of living the faith. And I love that Jeff mentioned bumper stickers a minute ago, because I promised you, Damien, I had a story for you and I almost forgot. So recently, I was at our parish one of the nights with the confirmation parents, and we had a speaker who was speaking to the teens. Well, her husband came into the church while I was with the parents, and I introduced myself to him. I was talking to him, and his eye caught a bumper sticker. He said, wait a minute. He picked up a 690 bumper sticker, and he said, can I have this? And I said, can you have this? Of course you can. And his eyes got big, and I said, do you love Catholic radio? And he said, not only do I love it, he said, but I heard about a ministry, Catholics in Recovery, on Catholic Community Radio. He said, and I was working with my pastor, Father Mark Beard, God rest his soul.
Yes.
He was helping me. I'm certain Father Mark still is. He said, he is helping me start this ministry in my parish. He said, but I had never heard about it until I heard about someone talking about it on Catholic Community Radio.
Yes.
So he was so excited, because he said, now I heard about it, and now I'm doing something to help bring this gift, this ministry to my parish.
What a
How about
beautiful,
that?
that's a testimony to evangelization.
He
if there
saw
ever-
the bumper sticker. Okay,
That's
Jeff.
right. That's right. Jeff, before we close, any additional donors
Yes,
you want to
well,
mention?
and-
Because we're running out of time.
Yes,
we need that phone to ring, though, 855-341-5199.
These are folks who have called in. We want to say thank you to Grace and Jim. Go to St. Patrick. Coffee Club members, $30 a month. An anonymous donation of $20 from Baton Rouge. Carol goes to Holy Spirit Parish in Belle Chase. A gift of $10 monthly. Thank you very much. Cecilia in Metairie, a $10 a month donation as well. And here's an anonymous donation from Mandeville of $20. We're very grateful for that. Got more to read, but go ahead and, Lisa, give us that number again.
855-341-5199, or donate online at ccradio.help.
By the way, I want to do a couple of shout-outs while we have some time Jordan Haddad and his wife just had a newborn, Noah Ignatius.
Wow.
When you said Ignatius, I said, we got to give Jordan a plug. So they got a new baby boy. Congratulations, Jordan. And also a plug for my nephew, Raymond Arroyo. He's got a new book out, not only a new album, but he's got a book too, entitled The Magnificent Mischief of Thad Lincoln, or Tad Lincoln, I should say, T-A-D, Tad Lincoln. He's going to be at Barnes & Noble tomorrow evening at 7:30, and that's in Metairie on Veterans Highway. So go visit Raymond and check out his new book at the same time. So,
couple of more here, Damien.
Yes.
Constance from Lake Charles, $50 donation made in memory of Sean Dawson. God love you, Constance. Thank you. Heath from St. Gabriel donated $25. An online donation at ccradio.help from an anonymous donation or donor, and it's a donation of $100. Thank you very much. So online, we'll keep going. And in fact, it's always there 24/7. ccradio.help will take you directly to the donate page.
And we want to thank the in-kind donors and sponsors of our 3-day event. The folks at City Group Hospitality for donating lunch. Same holds true for Portobello's Restaurant. The Heavenly Donut in Baton Rouge donating breakfast for all 3 days. We appreciate that, especially this morning their sausage and cheese biscuit. Yikes. Makes you want to slap your mama.
I know, there are none better.
And, good stuff. True Blue Water, thank you for hydrating us, and also River Road Coffee for keeping us motivated and stimulated all along the way. Lisa, any closing thoughts before we wrap up this morning?
I would just like to say our theme today has been hope, empowering the laity, empowering families, praying for our priests. I just think this is a beautiful way, Catholic Community Media, to really help light the fire in our archdiocese and beyond.
There you go.
Amen.
Light the fire one last time. 855-341-5199, ccradio.help. Thank you all so much for listening over the 3-day period. Jeff?
And thank you for your donations. God bless you. Johnette, by the way, is coming up next. At the top of the hour, we resume regular programming. But we have operators here to take your calls, so call us 855-341-5199.
Tune your heart to the truth.